Happy April. It is the Safe Routes to School Network call. And we'll go ahead and get started. Hopefully you can't hear all the beeps of all the people joining, but we'll make do. Okay, so for today's agenda, we're going to do a welcome and introductions. I'm going to give an MnDOT update, and then we're going to have a conversation about starter bike fleets. Lisa from All Kids Bike will join, along with two of our Minnesota local examples of what's taking place around the state. So as we begin, just want to say hello to everyone. In the chat, if you can put your name, your school, organization, affiliation, and your favorite destination to walk or bike to. And we'll read those off and say hello to each other as we continue on the presentation. So for an MnDOT update, there's a few fun things.
You can talk.
Oh.
Yeah, did you close it to get rid of it?
All right, let me mute a few people. Okay, so there's a few things. One is Safe Routes to School meetup. We have a date selected. It is Friday, July 25th, from 9 to 3-ish in St. Paul. Phoebe's going to drop a few links in. One of them is a registration form. It is free to register. We just got to know how many people are coming so that we can make sure that there's lunch for all of you there. So please register. I don't have a timeline of like end of registration. Early July, we're hoping to have everyone registered so we know the counts for the food. Another thing with the meetup that is new is we're doing a call for proposals. So we are asking all of you local experts to submit ideas, proposals for the presentation for the day. The deadline for this is Friday, April 25th. Phoebe will drop the link for that call for proposal form as well. There will be a review committee of folks, and then we will select a wide range of topics for that day of all the local statewide happenings that are taking place. If you have any questions about that, you can reach out to us. Recommended also for collaboration. For example, I know Sarah Stewart's not on this call today. She's on spring break, but St. Paul Schools is looking for other folks that are doing adaptive bike fleets and seeing if you wanted to partner with her on a presentation about adaptive bike fleets and then using their St. Paul trailer to allow people to kind of ride them, test them out, see what they feel like, that sort of thing. So if you're interested specifically on that one, reach out to Sarah. We can put her email in the chat. But it's just an example of the wide range of ideas that we're really looking forward to for that. Next up, we're almost there for our bike and walk to school day, May 7th. There are already 88 schools registered for this event, so kudos to all of you. I know there'll be many more that will be registering. So just a reminder to register. If you register, our MnDOT team will send out a packet with some flyers, some incentive stickers and such. So we can't wait to see that. And again, new this year, I guess we had a lot of inspiration this winter of ideas for new things. We are going to do a yard design contest. In the past, I know we've done poster contests. I think we may have tried to design a yard sign once before, but we're going to try it again. So the idea behind this is that the theme will be slow down in your school zones. Any student in Minnesota is eligible to apply for it. It'll be one original piece per student. The medium can be anything that the student likes, wants to use. Just keep in mind that these will be printed. And the exciting part of this is that the winning student and district will be printing the yard signs for them to have by back to school time. Acknowledging we're not going to get the review, the printing, and everything back by the beginning of school year. We'll get it to you by fall. So encouraging that mode shift of walking and biking for kiddos. So really excited to see who submits, and we'll we'll learn and we will share all of the great signs because I'm sure there'll be some quite lovely ones. A couple walk, bike, fun curriculum trainings that are taking place around the state. If you are aware and joining them, great. If you have questions and want to join, email Angela. And if you're not seeing one around your community, again, email her to see if we can make something work. And again, maybe we should take the new off now that we're a couple months in, but just a reminder for office hours, we often have a few people on each time. It is very helpful for the MnDOT team to have these conversations versus emails, and I suspect that it's also helpful for you for a quicker turnaround for questions from us. So if you ever have any questions, want to touch base, brainstorm ideas, we have weekly office hours on Tuesdays from 12 to 1. Alrighty, and with that, the main topic for today will be Strider bike fleets, all kids bike. But before that, is there any questions pertaining to the MnDOT minute before we transition over? I'll scan the chat quick. See a lot of hellos, which is lovely. Okay. Is Lisa on the call or Kristen?
Hi, Sophie. I'm Nicole, and I am.
That's what yes. As soon as I said Kristen, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Nicole, but I'm going to wait and see.
No, Lisa's hopping in. Actually, I just think she just joined, so.
Oh, amazing. Look at this timing.
She's in the airport, so we might give her just a second to get going.
That is all good. I'll go to the next slide while she can settle for a second. So today we'll hear from three. So we'll hear from Lisa from All Kids Bike, from Anne, All Kids Bike Program Coordinator in Itasca, and Deirdre from Rochester, which we're really excited about. So I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. And when Lisa.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm sitting in an airport, so there could be background noise.
It is all good. Thank you for jumping on the call. I'm so happy that the timing worked out between your flights.
Yeah, it did. Yep. Okay,
wonderful.
So,
well, yeah, go ahead.
Say if you want just some brief introductions, I'm Lisa Wire. I'm the Executive Director of the Strider Education Foundation, which leads All Kids Bike Program. And then I have Nicole with me as well. So I'll let Nicole introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm the Public Relations Manager here at All Kids Bike. Nice to meet you all.
And so, Sophie, if you're okay with it, we did put together just a few slides that Nicole's actually going to bring up on the screen since it'll be easier for her to do. So we'll go through those just briefly, and then of course we can answer any questions. So I'm actually going to turn my screen off because I think that'll help. So All Kids Bike, we're a national program. We have a very simple mission, is to teach children how to ride a bike in kindergarten PE class. And we do that all across the country. We have over 1,600 programs that are active in the United States. That means we're teaching about 160,000 kids how to ride a bike every single year. And with those programs that are in place, we are teaching over 1 million kids how to ride bikes throughout the 10-year lifespan of the program. But just to give you a little bit of our history, we started in 2017. That's when we received our 501c3 tax exempt status. In 2018 is when the All Kids Bike program was actually started and developed. So we slowly over time have gotten more visibility and more word of mouth and gotten those programs out there. So I'm just going to skip through this. You guys can read it. But we were able to get 430 programs out the door in 2024. So that was one of our biggest milestones, our highest number yet of programs that are actually in PE classes across the U.S. In 2023 and 2024, we had a very big milestone where we actually had our first state implementation. And so that was in North Dakota, where every kindergarten class in North Dakota has the All Kids Bike PEDS program. Want to go to the next slide, Nicole? And we'll get a little bit more into North Dakota. I have a video that I'm hoping we can show. So the program details of what that is, it's a one-time cost of $9,000. It is a fleet of 24, so you get 24 little 14x inch Strider bikes. You get 24 helmets, 24 pedal kits, one teacher instructor bike, which is a 20-inch bike that also comes with a pedal kit and the adult helmet, and then 2 metal rolling storage racks that stores all that student equipment. So all the little pedal kits are in little slots at the bottom, all the helmets hang off on the sides, and all the bikes hang on hooks. That storage rack also fits through doorways. It's easy to pull out from a storage closet out into a gym. We just made it super easy for the PE teachers because we know they're busy. And as I mentioned, all of that equipment has a lifespan of 7 to 10 years. We also then provide the full curriculum. We do teacher training and certification, which is about an hour and a half of video-based online training to teach the balanced bike method. And then we do provide the lesson plans, 8 lessons, and all that games, activities, that full curriculum. So it's truly a plug and play system that schools can just put into their PE class. The next slide, Nicole. So as I mentioned, we have North Dakota as our first state that's fully implemented. And Governor Burgum actually provided a gear grant to us to put this program into all of their schools. And so he was kind enough to do a video for us, which is very telling about the program itself. So if you guys have time, we'd love to be able to share that.
I'm not hearing the noise.
I wasn't hearing it either, but I thought it was just me. So I mean, Nicole can figure that one.
When you go to share, there's a button at the very top that says turn on sound. Or you'd
I'll
have
start
to
it
back
over
out
here.
of your screen.
It's not letting me do it.
We can
I think
also
it-
provide the link too in the follow-up if worst case, but let's give it maybe another try.
For whatever reason, letting me share it. So
It's not letting you share the sound, Nicole?
it's not letting me, yeah, I click on it and it's not letting me share it.
Okay. Well, if Nicole, if you want to put that link just in the chat, then they would have it.
Yep, I will do that.
Then we'll skip that video. We'll go on to the. You have another slide there, Nicole?
Yep, sorry, guys. No, it won't let me go to the next one. There we go.
As I say, I think our next slide is just our information. You know, all of our information is on our website at allkidsbike.org. So happy to answer any questions now if anybody has any. I know I went through that very quickly.
You can put the questions in the chat or come off mute. While we're waiting for questions, are either
Looks
of
like they
you
froze.
Lisa and Nicole, are you able to hear us?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, Are you able to share the fun work you're going to be doing this next boost cycle for Minnesota?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes. So we were lucky enough to receive a grant with you guys, and it's for $45,000. So that will put 5 programs into the schools that you guys actually choose. That's one of the very fortunate things for us. We have elementary schools everywhere. So our donors and funders are able to select a school that, you know, is near them in location, or maybe it also has a meaning that they might have a child, a grandchild in that school. And so that process, how that will happen is you guys can tell us the location, you could tell us the school district, a city, then we then call those schools, tell them about the All Kids Bike program, let them know that a gifted program is being provided for them. And then what we can do also is set up reveal moment. What a reveal moment is where the donor and the school get together. We do like a pep assembly style reveal moment where we're in the school gym. The bikes are all covered, a lot of times with like a parachute, the gym parachute. And then we let the donor speak, the school administration gets to speak, and we're talking about, 15 minutes tops with the speaking parts because it's obviously 5-year-olds. And then we reveal the bikes, so the kids get to see the bikes for the first time. They get to know that those bikes are going to be part of their PE class. And then we actually do a first ride. So we put the helmets on the little kinders. We get them fitted for the bike, which is super easy, just a clamp that raises and lowers that seat. And then they take a ride around the gym or their recess playground. So we can do that as well, which is always fun. And it's just a great way to get some visibility and learn more about the program.
Thank you.
From
And
what
to
I-
clarify,
from what I-
it was Minneapolis Public Schools.
Okay.
5 of the elementaries received this one with the boost. There are a couple questions for you all. So one question is, do applicants have to be schools?
So our program is geared towards kindergarten PE classes. So the kinder program is geared for school. So they do have to be elementary school. They can be private or public, but it is geared for elementary schools.
Kristen, do you have any follow-up to that question?
Yeah, thank you, Sophie. So the reason I ask is that I'm involved in a couple bike fleets that are operated by the local bike advocate group, and they take them around to all the elementary schools in our community. And so I was curious if that would be like if they were interested in getting one of these fleets too to add to their if they would be eligible.
Yeah, to answer that, I would go back to the comment that we do typically put them into elementary schools. We truly don't recommend that they travel just so they do have that 10-year lifespan. So, our goal is to put the program into every elementary school so every child has that opportunity.
Another question is, how is the maintenance track record? Do the bikes hold up?
So the maintenance on them is very good. We have programs that have been out there since 2018. They're still active programs. Maintenance is very low. I mean, besides maybe having to replace the kickstand or something like that, because those probably get a little bit of the most wear and tear. Maintenance is very low. The Strider bike itself has a 2-year warranty. So anytime if there is any defect or anything damage to a bike within those 2 years, it automatically gets replaced. And then we are able to provide replacement parts at a discounted price for anything that's after that 2-year warranty if it is needed.
Wonderful. And just a note that CJ from Bike MN, our partner, just put a note in that he would love to see the online training, knowing that Walk Bike Fun across the state is our curriculum for a little bit older, the third and fourth grade specifically. So just a note from that. Any other questions from anyone on the call about this? If not, oh, go ahead,
I
Lisa.
will make a comment and ask Nicole if she would look at the map behind her and let us know how many programs are in Minnesota.
I don't know if you guys can see or not here.
That's all right. Just tell us how many programs
We
in
have
Minnesota.
39 programs in Minnesota currently.
Wonderful. Would you both be able to put your emails in the chat? We'll also put it in the follow-up. And you may want to stay on because the next local story is specifically to one of your programs.
That's
All
great.
right.
Unfortunately, I can't, but if Nicole can, that'd be great. I'm getting ready to board the next flight.
All right.
So,
I'm glad you made
I
your
just wanna-
connection.
I just want to say thank you for the time and the opportunity to, give more information about All Kids Bike to all of you guys. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Safe
And I did
travels.
share that video in the chat for everyone to view. Sorry, my sound wasn't working on that.
It's all good. Technology's, you never know.
Right.
Wonderful.
All
Well,
right.
thank you
Thank
both.
you, everyone. I'll sign out. Bye-bye.
All right. Anne, are you ready?
Yeah, yes, go ahead, Sophie, put the PowerPoint up.
All right. Is everyone able to see that?
Looks good to me.
Okay.
So,
All right. We'll go with
yeah,
it.
so, well, I guess I'm one of the 39 programs in the state of Minnesota, which we are going to certainly work on increasing. Before I start, I'm Ann Campbell. I'm a retired educator, a former physical education teacher and administrator. And number one, I want to give a shout out to Kelly Corbin. I've been doing this for a year and a half, and Kelly was just so instrumental and helpful and just full of guidance for me. So thank you, Kelly. And number two, this All Kids Bike program is really, really awesome. So I'm excited to share with you what we've done today. And just so you know, I did get permission from All Kids Bike to use some of their slides when I presented at the Community Ed State Conference. And you'll see some of those here today too. Okay, Sophie, next slide. So through Itasca Area Community Education, whose mission is to deliver high quality learning and enrichment opportunities to improve lives with the support of Safe Routes to School grant, which aims to get more kids walking and biking, we proudly purchased our first all kids bike fleet probably over a year ago. In the short time since implementing the All Kids Bike program, we have witnessed incredible results. The feedback from students has been nothing short of inspiring, and I hope to share some of those with you as we go along in the presentation. Go ahead, Sophie. Oh, I think you skipped over one. You go back. There you go. Okay, so I have the Minnesota slide, and I'm just so proud of this. North of the metro, right where it says Leech Lake, on the right, the very first arrow is Grand Rapids. Yep. So we're the very first school district to purchase the All Kids Bike program. And then right to my right, I also, with my monies through the coordinator grant, purchased a bike fleet for Keewatin Elementary School. And so obviously you see the Dakotas have a lot of check marks. So Minnesota, let's go. We need to get more check marks in our state. So next slide. This is Keewatin. I just wanted to show you, I also purchased trailers because we are very rural. So in order to get these bikes safely to all these different schools around our area, I purchased a trailer. We logoed it up. And that is Dan Owens from Keewatin Elementary School. That's the day that I actually brought the trailer and the bikes to him. Go ahead. Why All Kids Bike? Well, first of all, my aha moment was when I was helping a middle school FIAD teacher teach his bike class with the bike fleet, not the starter bikes, but the bike fleet. These are middle school kids. There are kids in almost every class that didn't know how to bike. They either never were taught how to bike, they didn't own a bike. And I mean, this program is vital to our children to teach them how to bike, how to build skills and confidence to continue biking. So with that, I fell, I can't remember how I learned about All Kids Bike, probably through one of these webinars, but there's a big decline in biking, as you see. 11% of US kids bike or walk to school. And that's not a very high percentage. 1 in 4 kids will ride a bike this year. So the All Kids Bike mission, we are so on board with that to teach all kids how to bike in kindergarten. So community ed via Safe Routes to School, which is where I'm located, can be part of the solution. And we are all in. And those are our kids and one of our FIAD teachers on the left side. As I said, communities are taking action on behalf of children in Itasca County. All Kids Bike has so far been in 7 schools, including summer school. So we have touched literally hundreds and hundreds of little kids already. And I still have 3 new schools this spring that would like the bike fleet. So I'm working with them. And I'll talk a little bit more about the curriculum as you go along, but it is awesome curriculum. Go ahead. We know this, kids who exercise, who walk, bike, roll to school, they arrive alert and able to focus on school a little bit better. And it's part of that recommended 60 minutes of activity. And we know that they demonstrate improved test scores and better performance in school, more likely to have a healthy body weight and less likely to suffer from depression and anxiety. I love this picture. This was almost a year ago in May, where it was the walk bike to school day. And all these kids from, this is Cohasset Elementary School, they all biked. It was so cool. You could see a sea of bikes coming through the neighborhood, and they unfortunately have to cross kind of a busy road, and they all got across safely. But part of the ease, was that encouragement, engagement piece. So I made a point of being there when they rolled up, and they were, I think they're pretty happy to see me. They're giving me high fives as they're coming up to their bike rack, and that's one of the pictures that I grabbed from that day. Another piece of encouragement is, all the different events that you can do with the bikes and walking days. And I wanted to show you this building behind all the kids. That is Keewatin Elementary School, probably the oldest elementary school in Minnesota. On the 3rd floor is the gym. So Dan Owens, the FIAD teacher, is going to wait till, now that we just got more snow, he's going to wait for the snow to go and spring to come, and then do the All Kids Bike program right outside on their asphalt there. These kids are lined up to walk on the Mesabi Trail. So they have a beautiful trail system right out there. So again, the encouragement, engagement, get kids excited about biking and walking. And another cool picture, these are actually our 5 boys that are biking to school. One of the parents took this. This was from this past fall. But in order to get kids to bike to school, we need to teach them when they're young. And that's that education piece with the All Kids Bike program. And then, of course, all the safety education that the state has mandated that we teach as well. I think that picture is really cool, so I wanted to show that to you all. Equity, we actually are just working with All Kids Bike to purchase some of the All Abilities bikes. These are striders that have bigger wheelbase than the kindergarten striders. I believe it's a 20-inch, and the kindergarten striders are plastic wheels, which is really nice. They don't damage the floor. You don't have to pump up the tires. So these All Abilities bikes are a little bit bigger, and we, like I said, intend to incorporate those also into our PE classes with some of the older kids, and giving All Abilities the opportunity to learn how to bike and gain independence and confidence, and again, a love for biking. And again, this picture is right off their website. Yep, go ahead. The storage. The #1 question when I talk to principals about bringing this program into their school, where are we going to put it? Where are we going to put it? We don't have any storage, but it's very easily, these can roll in and roll out. And as Lisa said, the bikes hang very easily. It's easy to put them up there. The pedal kits can hang right there too. I personally just bought a tote with wheels on it. I put all the helmets in there and all the shower caps in there that we used before we put on the helmets. So try to make it as easy as I can for the teachers. And I also include the curriculum notebook in there, but all teachers, before they can teach this, have to go through the curriculum. And the curriculum is all on video. They're like 8 lesson plans, everything's already done for you. You just have to take the time to watch it, and then you're able to teach this program to your kids. What are teachers saying? So we had a school just about 7 miles away from here use the Strider bikes in January, and Rhea Anderson, the teacher at Greenway Elementary, said they had so much fun with the Striders, they want to do it next year. The second graders were so envious, we gave them an opportunity to ride as well. So, and they also have a tunnel system from their elementary school to their high school. So they got to ride the tunnels on the very last day of Strider bike in class. So that's pretty fun. And Victoria taught during the summer school, and she just said it was a joy to watch the kids learn how to use them and to see them improve and to see them go. And then myself, I just added my quote, I 100% recommend this program. Students will love the experience, and the curriculum makes lesson planning seamless for teachers. The positive impact of this program on students, confidence, physical skills, and overall joy cannot be overstated. And then, I mean, this is all about the kids, right? So countless times, not just once, but over and over, kids would tell me, I learned how to ride a bike in class. Hey, watch me. They always want you to watch them. Watch me. Look what I can do. I've had several kids say, I went home and took my training wheels off and rode my bike with my family. And many kids said, this is so fun. I love coming to school. I love coming to school to ride the bikes. And the day I had to take the racks out of this one particular school, the kids were hanging on me. No, don't take the bikes. We love riding bikes in class. So I know as a physical education teacher for many, many years, I never taught biking in class. So I think this is just a cool, cool program. And then the All Kids Bike program kind of led into a traffic garden for us. So through conversations with Mallory up in West Central and Kelly, I was able to get information and a budget and see if we could fit this in to our schools. So we put 2 traffic gardens in at our elementary schools. The Itasca County engineers came up with a template for us. The city painted the stripes, and then I hired an artist to come in and jazz it up and make it, you know, some scenes. You'll see a schoolhouse, you'll see woods and trees and lakes and fish on one of them. So just make it look a little nicer. And we included, instead of having the, you know, portable stop signs, which I don't know how we would have done that because of, you know, buses come through here every day. So we just put the stop signs and the yield signs on the road so kids can practice making the appropriate signal with their arm, and I don't know, just have fun. We included a roundabout because we have roundabouts in town, which are sometimes very confusing. So that's been a great project. We got a boost grant for 25-26. I'm going to put them at 2 more of our schools. And then I just have to tell you the story because this young gal on the left here, her family was in transition of moving. And when bike day came, their bikes were in their new house about 2 hours away. So her family went and got her bikes. So before the, you know, last day of school, she could bike to school. And she wanted to show me because she's so proud to be able to bike to school. Obviously they live in, you know, a rural setting, probably a couple mile bike, and mom and brother, of course, biked with her. But that's just a priceless picture of joy. And again, this is one of our teachers teaching the All Kids Bike program. And I just wanted to say with the helmets, we just bought like hundreds of shower caps. So kids know they pull out a shower cap, they have to put that on before they go put their helmet on. And then they're taught how to put the helmet on correctly. These are kindergartens, but we tell them we'll help them the first time, but they need to learn how to do this. So they know how to do the 2, 4, 1, make the adjustment, make sure the helmet's down. And so again, that's that education piece about how to wear a helmet. And then picture on the right was actually, I believe, a Golden Snow Boot Award winner a year and a half ago. These are 3 boys that have fat tires on, and they bike to school every single day. And you can see the sun's just coming up and there's snow on the ground. So that's Victoria over there. And you can just see the smiles over there. Sophie, I had a video. Oh, there it is. So at the end of every class, if you could play that video, Sophie.
We can try. Maybe we'll send it in the link to the follow-up.
Okay, well, I mean, it's just the all kids. All the kids are saying, all kids bike, you know, so we do that after the end of each and every single class. And then I think as adults, I think it's important that we model biking to these children, to these elementary kids. And that leader bike is really a great asset because the leader bike, you can get out front, you can show them exactly what you want to do if they're visual learners, and how to weave and how to balance and how to stop with the toes and then the heels. And it's just a really great tool, the leader bike. So, and that comes with your fleet if you order. Again, here's the all kids bike information. And then the very next slide is me. I'm happy to answer any questions anytime. Grab my email, shoot me any questions that you have. And then I'm certainly open for any questions right now.
Put in the chat, come off mute. Well, thank you, Anne, for that.
Yeah, it's a great program. I love it, and people love it around here too. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Fun.
Can you hear us, hon?
We aren't able to hear you. If you want to put your question in the chat, we're happy to read it off as well.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Thank you for sharing about your program with us. It looks great and the kids seem to having a lot of fun. I just wonder, so the program is a part of school curriculum, the curriculum, or educational program at a community level? Can you hear me?
Kind of. I wasn't able to fully hear your question. Would you be able to put it in the chat? And then while you're putting in the chat, we'll be able to answer it. Deirdre, do you want to pull up your presentation? Oh, is it part of the PE curriculum? Anne, can you answer that?
Sure. So so far we've done it with the PE teachers, and you know, nobody likes to be told what to do, but once they see the little bikes and what happens, the magic that happens in these classes. And I also volunteer myself to be in there to help, because you do, that's one thing I want to say. Don't just give this to a single teacher. You got to have some volunteers, you got to have some extra help, because you have a lot of things going on with those little. So I personally think it should be part of the PE curriculum, and so far all the schools we brought them to want to have them back. So I think they're making space and time in their curriculum to have the all kids bike. The maintenance on the bikes. So I put all our bikes together. You get a video on how to put them together. So I put them together. I'll go out, this summer or two, probably tighten up the handlebars and make sure everything's running okay. The Strider bikes are pretty. I mean, if I can do it, anybody can do it. It's pretty easy to maintain and keep ready to go. So.
Thank you. All right, Deirdre, go ahead.
All right. Thank you so very much. That's a hard one to follow. So we'll just do our best over here. All righty. Everybody can see our screen? All right, so we have Striders here in Rochester Public Schools, and we actually have them embedded in our in 2 of our schools, so that they are year round. So they don't tour around yet to different sites. So we have them in Overland Elementary and Bishop Elementary, and they've been there for quite a few years. So we've had some great feedback from the schools specifically. The PE teachers who've actually moved on to other schools and want them in those schools, and the admins of principals and teachers. So here in Rochester Public Schools, an awful lot of what we do is about deeper learning and the learning of the whole child. So the Striders specifically in these schools are used to build the confidence and coordination, of course, and then a lifetime of active habits. As we all know, adding any activity, creative activity into those PE classes, that will get the kids more involved, as opposed to just doing the same things all the time. So putting in some Striders for the spring and summer activities just makes the kids so excited. But then we need to start that journey early. So it's our early learners, it's our pre-Ks and our Ks and first graders. Getting it being a normal biking situation, being normal around bikes makes the kids understand and acknowledge that they are it's just a part of being a kid and growing up here in Minnesota. So why do we use Strider bikes in Rochester Public Schools? We use them predominantly because they're fun. The kids love them. They just relish those activities, especially when it's as a peer activity, so all their friends get to learn as well. So a little video. Hope you can hear this one. So this little guy here, he's just so excited. He is out on the trail and not in the schools. But this is an example of our youngest students learning to ride the bicycle safely. We use them, as said here in Rochester Public Schools, pre-K through 2nd grade. And one of our phys ed teachers, he's working through the programs with the kids, and from when they start late winter, early spring into summer, he's like, the confidence that the kids get by the end of the program is just fabulous. It's great to see their confidence grow. And then especially with the little kiddos, it's those motor skills and coordination that we all try and instigate into the school systems. So why do we do this? We do this because for our physical activity for the kids, to enhance their stability and motor skills, to build their leg muscles and improve endurance, and then improves their reflexes. So, as we all start out on bikes, it's that 100 times that you fall off. It's the reflex of how you physically impact with that later on. The reflex of tilting back on one side versus the other, and they're great skills for kids to have from that early age. It just becomes second nature. It's muscle memory from there on. And the children they figure out like all of those navigating turns and obstacles. How can they look forward physically on the trailer or in the gym and see obstacles, and how are they going to get around them? Again, these are life skills that we don't even know that we're learning, and we're starting out from the pre-K forward in teaching the kids those things. And the spatial awareness, we all, it's like the puppies and the toddlers, like they don't quite get where their world ends or where their bubble ends, and it gives them that spatial awareness, especially when you've got kids all learning in a line or all learning in the same space. And it helps, of course, with their attention span. The more movement that the kids get, especially at that young age, they can focus and concentrate and hopefully do better in the next class for that day. So as again, our phys ed teacher, he's fabulous, Mr. Roy. So because the bikes were pedal-less, the focus was entirely on balancing and steering, and it was amazing how fast they progressed. By class 3 or 4, even students with no prior experience were balancing with their feet up, which is honestly mind-blowing to witness. And it's that excitement and that woohoo, I did it concept that, especially with the littles, just come really to the front in using these Strider bikes. So I like to put my little acronym. So we see the health with the kids. We have the social, and again, everything within our school district is social emotional learning. Like, how do we build those friendships and teamwork? Like, how do we get the kids to know how to, what later will be trail riding, but how do we get them to like go in a line? How do we get them to do a figure 8? And, you know, all of these increased skills that we can teach them on those bikes that just become lifelong lessons. We embed the Strider bikes here into the PE class, and then it enhances those fitness programs. Physical activity improves their behavior, and we've seen it time and time again, whether it's the walk to schools, bike to schools, fitness programs in class, that behavior in academic settings just improves multiple fold. And the self-confidence in our emotional bucket here, the self-confidence of the kids that they, as Anne mentioned, they want to show people how they did it. So they want to show people like, I did it, I took my training wheels off. And learning how to do that in a group setting is just fantastic. And it's a regular workout. We all know our children of all ages need more physical activity, not sitting in a group learning something, but just moving, learning something. And of course, then that adopts the early adoption as early as you can leads to a long-term active living, whether that be biking, scooting, trail riding, whatever that is, but it gets you outdoors and moving something. And again, Mr. Roy, the constant movement and effort involved in riding kept their hearts pumping. And that's what we want to see with the kids, whether it's the heart pumping because they're joyful or the heart's pumping because it's good for them. We don't mind. So, get back one. There we go. Principal of Overland Elementary, when I was chatting with him about this, his comment to me was, for us, students get an experience they may not typically have. They work on balance and strength, and there's always a ton of smiles, and it's been nothing but beneficial for our students. They look forward to Strider sessions each year. Now, for me, there's the balance and the strength, but it's the ton of smiles. It's the, I had a great time in that class today, and go home and maybe they'll take their bike out that hasn't been out for 6 months. It's that element of, I had a good day today, that the kids will take away from it. And what is our next steps here in Rochester Public Schools? So we're constantly trying to expand our bike programs year on year, get more people involved to get the more healthier, more confident students. We can only do that, of course, with grants and funding opportunities. And we every year we're looking for different grants, of course, with our boost and with our MnDOT partners, but we will look everywhere and anywhere for those grants and to get them in. If I can get more bikes out there and more kids on those bikes, that's better for our programming. But also from our perspective, we're also then looking to expand our learning options, and the traffic gardens, as we all know, are a great embedded feature to add into that. And that's what we're going to do here in Rochester is our next toolkit. Get back one. So we've just received our boost grant from MnDOT, and we will be embedding traffic gardens as a permanent structure in to start with 2. Hopefully, if we can get some savings, we can get it in 3. But we're actually putting these in the sites where the earliest of our early learning are bringing in. So this is going to be our pre-K through second grade learning. We have our walk back fun, which is the third grade on. We have our bike fleets that are fourth and fifth grade and middle school. So we're really focusing and harnessing on our little kids here. And this is, I said, this traffic, the initial traffic garden is going to be part of the playground in one of our littlest people schools. But in conjunction with that, we're also building a mobile unit that we can take to people's gyms, being winter in Minnesota, and outside. So bringing that scaled down world, giving the kids that imaginative learning on site until we can hopefully, with all of the funding in the world that we always get, that we would be able to embed a traffic garden in every single one of our elementary schools. It keeps that learning and that curriculum and that all of that good mental agility in the schools, and parents don't have to then bring bikes to a public facility or downtown or wherever, which is where we historically had one here in Rochester. But now we'll be able to have the bikes on site. The kiddos won't have to, if they're don't have bikes at home, so they don't have to bring bikes themselves. And we were increasingly using this for the little ones with the Strider bikes. So we'll be able to get additional learning along with the Strider bikes and buddy up next to it. And that's all I've got here in Rochester.
Thank you, Deirdre. Any questions, both again, chat or coming off mute? Give everyone a second. Well, I appreciate all of your work on all of it. All the good work that everyone does. Alrighty, just a few more. First, thank you all the speakers. Again, this work isn't possible with all that important work that you do on the site level. Just looking ahead for network calls. We love how many of you are able to join these conversations, and we want to make sure that the topics are of interest to you. So May network call, we're going to talk about the inclusion of Safe Routes to School and high school students, specifically with a case study taking place in St. Paul. In June, our friends from MnDOT are going to come talk about Bike Plus plan. And then that July, again, is that Safe Routes to School meetup in St. Paul. So please register. So we have those numbers and start thinking about all those potential projects that you can highlight at the meetup. And with that, if you still have questions, we have office hours. All righty. I'm going to stop sharing. Stop recording.